let's talk about some of these former Rams that are upset with the team. This is not something that we're new to, former players being upset with our squad. This also, though, I want to preface this entire section here by saying this is one of the reasons why I'm always about the Rams, not necessarily the players. I like these players, and I always hope that while they're Rams, they play really, really good football, and they do an awesome job, and they're just awesome. They're out in the community, they're scoring touchdowns, they're doing flips into the end zone, they're stiff-arming people, they're blasting people with shoulders and causing fumbles, they're sacking quarterbacks, all that stuff. Love all of it. Love all of that, all of that aspects of the football game. But sometimes when players leave, then you kind of see who they are a little bit, that they never really cared about you, the team, or anything else, all right? They were just there for the money, which I can't even blame them for that. I really can't, because first of all, most of the time, you don't even get to really pick your team. It's pretty rare for a team to be able to be like, okay, this one, I'll go here. Usually you're either drafted or there's like one team that wants to sign you, and that's just what happens. Unless you're a huge name, you're probably not getting that much attention. Even guys that we like a lot, Josh Reynolds even, like he didn't have a big market. Austin Blythe, I think he had a decent market, but ended up going to the Chiefs. I respect that. That's cool. But they also took, what's-his-face from the draft. So he's got some battle there, which is going to be interesting to see what happens there. I hope Blythe doesn't lose his starting gig because we could absolutely use him, and I think we should have kept him. But, hey, that's not my job. But either way, that's kind of part of it, is these guys leave and things happen. We loved Todd Gurley while he was here, right? I did. I was a big Gurley guy, but when he left and then just started bashing us immediately, it was like, oh, okay, you were just all about the Rams because we drafted you. It had nothing to do with us or the team or the coach or the city or anything. We just drafted you and we gave you a big extension, so yeah, you said go Rams. Of course you did. Clay Matthews. Of course he did say he wanted to play for the Rams. But then he plays his 1 year with the Rams out of a 2-year contract. He gets cut and then starts bashing the Rams. Where's my money? Like, dude, I don't know how it all works, but you don't air it out on social media. I can tell you that much. And the reason that I relate to that a little bit is simply the fact that, like, if my job stopped paying me, I would stop showing up. That's how that's going to work. You know what I mean? I don't do it for the love of the game. I'm not out there doing this stuff just because I'm here for it and I'm about this life and I've dedicated myself to it or anything like that. No, if they stop paying me, I'm not coming anymore. That's it. Or if they tell me to stop coming, I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to be like, all right, peace. Like, new company time, whatever. And you got to be yourself. I mean, that's the big thing here. And for these players and myself, and I'm sure many of you guys as well, is the company's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome to be there. I like my job. I don't hate my job one bit. But you got to worry about yourself. And I respect that. And that's why I'm here for the team, not the players. Because they're all in it for themselves, while the team is always here for us. That's the corniest way that I can put that, but it also makes the most sense in my heart. I was going to say brain, but we'll go with heart, because it just, we're going on that vibe. So, either way, Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib, two former short-term LA Rams, who they did play in the Super Bowl for the Rams, but they are both not happy with how their time ended with the Rams in 2019 and are now deciding that they need to let the world know that in 2021 in the offseason in May. I think this actually came out yesterday, so not on Cinco de Mayo. I'm recording on Cinco de Mayo. So today, my cat's name is actually Carlos. It happens. So Marcus Peters says that he felt disrespected by the Rams when he was traded, and then the Rams went for Jalen Ramsey. Peters says that he does a little bit more than Ramsey, but I guess he forgot that he was cornerback too when he was an LA Ram, so I'm not sure where he's getting that information or what he's looking at. Maybe he's only looking at interceptions, because in fairness, he did have some more than Jalen Ramsey has had in his time as an LA Ram, but also got targeted more often because Jalen Ramsey shuts down his guy. He doesn't get burned and then look at the rest of the defense like, where were you guys at, Marcus Peters? Come on, man. If you're going to blow your coverages, don't look at everybody else and be like, what happened here? At least Jalen's not doing that. Jalen's actually blanketing his guy. He's on his guy. He's not letting his guy get open. Meanwhile, Marcus Peters has got 20 yards away from him running down the field with the football and looking back at Kenny Young like, what happened, man? What happened? You blew your coverage, Marcus. That's what happened. I don't understand why why he decided to come out right now. But he felt like he was disrespected. And all this tells me is that Les Snead is living rent-free in Marcus Peters' head. And I'm here for it. I loved Marcus Peters when he was an LA Ram. I loved it. That first touchdown he had for the Rams, it was week 1 against the Raiders. That pick 6 that he had, loved it. That was my favorite play of the year. I called it right away. I was like, I love this. I love all of this. That's my favorite play. It's big competition for favorite play. I don't know if it'll be beat, and it didn't. Okay. Spoiler alert. It did not, unless you want to count technically that field goal in overtime by Jeezy in the NFC Championship game, because that was one of the best moments of my life. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. And by the way, my Jeezy jersey is up on my wall over here. It's still not framed. Still not framed. Had an issue with my order, actually, and my money got returned, and I was like, what the heck? And they didn't give me a frame for free. Can you believe that? Rude, right? So, anyway, Marcus Peters, who was the cornerback 2, says that he does more than what's probably the best cornerback in the NFL today in Jalen Ramsey, to which I would love to know what he's looking at, what tape he's watching. Please provide it. I mean, you don't necessarily, I'm not the guy you have anything to prove to. I'm just a dude who sits here in my apartment and talks about the Rams once a week. But, I hated this story. Marcus, come on, man. You're better than this, dude. You know what? No, this is right in line with Peters, actually. This is just who he is. He's not better or worse than this. This is Marcus Peters. This is just who he is. Oh, man. But guess who else is mad? Aqib Talib from Kansas. I was never a fan of Talib all the way back. Years and years and years. Like early Talib days, I was just not a fan of Talib. When he came to the Rams, and you guys I'm sure know this, it was like, hey, I don't really like this guy that much, but hey, while he's here, I hope he makes some plays. Hope he balls out. Hope he does awesome. Let's go Teep. Like a keep. Teep. Let's go keep. And so Marcus Peters decided on the same podcast, by the way, it's Talib's podcast that Peters was on. They apparently got together just to talk about the Rams. So, I mean, we're living in your head rent free, man. But Aqib Talib, he said he came out, he felt like he was kicked off the team, being traded to the Dolphins in what was really a salary cap move. He felt like he was kicked off the team. Well, yeah, that's kind of exactly what happened to Aqib. You got kicked off, you get traded, you're getting kicked off the team, basically. Everybody's like, dude, all right, get out. The story is rather interesting if you guys care to watch it or to read it. I mean, you can go. I'm sure you could watch the podcast too. I'm sure there's a video version, or at least an audio version, because it is a literal podcast. So there's got to be some kind of sound at least. And Talib basically he was saying that the Rams. It was Sean McVay specifically that he like didn't like the way that McVay handled any of that. That that Sean told him he was going to put him on IR, and he's like, "What, for broken ribs? What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, well, we don't know your body. We don't know how you're going to respond to this." And he was also, pretty old at the time, so he got mad about that. And then, I mean, the Rams traded away Aqib Talib for the cap space, very similar to Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters was getting burnt. He was either getting an interception, which I mean, he had 5 in his time as a Ram, I think. He was either doing that and being all super cocky and, doing that stuff, or he was getting burned. Either or. There was never like an average play from Marcus Peters. It was either incredible or you look back at him and he's got his arms up looking at another player. Bro, maybe you blew the coverage, all right? Maybe. I know when John Johnson blew the coverage, he pointed at himself. I know that much. Marcus Peters never did that. So, yeah, you felt disrespected? Good. Aqib Talib felt like you were kicked off the team? Good. Get out of here. But don't come back at us and say all this stuff when you guys are the ones that weren't performing, man. Marcus Peters, it was a better move for the Rams to go from Peters to Jalen Ramsey. Without a doubt. I don't think anybody can argue that. Aqib Talib, he was old when he showed up. I didn't think that it was really a need. But, of course, the Rams didn't give up a lot to get him from the Denver Broncos, so he kind of followed Wade, I think, a little bit there. So, hey, it's whatever. Move on then, guys. Move on. It was a couple years ago, guys. It's time to move on. Living in your head rent-free. Alright guys, that is it for this clip. But if you would like to see the entire thing, you're going to want to hit just over here. But if you have not yet, I need you to subscribe. That's on this side. Peace! Go Rams!